Hey friends, it's me, the Ebony Otaku, the well-rounded nerd. Let me tell you, it has been a crazy couple of weeks for me. Huh. I literally just got over the flu, like just. So at the time of recording this, you would have seen it in my community post because community posts and like videos never consider those to ever be in sync in real time. Community posts are in real time. Videos for me, maybe shorts, are very rarely in real time because of my job. I travel. I'm a corporate trainer. Technically, my title is Senior Manager of Learning and Development, focused on training delivery. I train people for my company. So I try when I have the time, I record ahead. That way the channel's always uploading, even if I get busy. So when I get those lulls in my time, especially in between like big push that we have at work, I'll like front load a whole bunch of videos. But like during like this final lull that I've got, I'm so glad that I pre-record because she was out with the flu for like 8 straight days. I'd been on the road for 2 weeks for work. Like I was gone for 2 weeks, home for a couple of weeks, then out for a couple of weeks. Um, Came home with the flu. Like in January, I came home with the vid. And it was the first time I'd ever had it. I never got it during the actual thing. I hate that we have to do that with our language. Does that bug anybody else but me? Anywho, but I never got it during the thing. I got all the vaccines and stuff. I have to because I travel so much. Um, Picked it up somewhere on the road, and then the next month in February, I came home. I was sick. I didn't go to the doctor for that one. That was gone from me in like 3 or 4 days. I think for me it might have been strep or something, but I didn't get tested that time. But I brought back the flu to the rest of my family, so family was down with the flu for 2 weeks. I was down for 4 days, and then had to take care of them. Had a good 8 weeks of nothing. Came back home last week, was wrecked. Like I came home I left on a Monday, came home on a Wednesday because it was just a 1 day class, and like I was okay on Wednesday. Thursday morning, get up, get online, start doing my work thing, and I'm like, I don't feel great. And then, like the middle of the day on Thursday, I was like, I really don't feel great. And then like at the end of the day, I was like, I'm gonna die. And I laid in bed for 48 hours. It was miserable. Like the body aches, like the whole thing. And then my husband finally like dragged me out of bed and was like, you need to go to the doctor. And I was like, no, I don't. And I did. And they tested, they dig out a piece of your brain and stuff. And flu B. So I've had flu A, flu B, the vid, and some random thing. Because the flu A I had last summer, I was out. Had to go to Florida to teach a class, I think. Yeah, it was Florida. I came back. And I taught that class 3 days in a row. So I was gone for the whole week. And on Thursday, the last day that I'm teaching, I was going down. I was going down fast. Like I was okay in the morning, like 10 a.m. It was, and then by like the second half of the day, I taught the first half, and the guy I was teaching with, I was like, you gonna have to carry this. And she went back to the hotel and died. And then I came home, got tested, flu A. And that was like a 2 week ordeal. If you've ever had like the actual flu, it's the worst. And I don't know why. I do know why, because airports are gross. Like if you travel, airports are gross. Like they were gross before the thing, they're gross now. Um, you wash your hands, you do everything you can, but there's nothing you can do about someone else. And if you show up into spaces ill, like that's part of like, I guess, when you're in like the business travel culture, it's a very, I don't want to say we're all workaholics, but it's kind of how it is. Like we're all like gotta do, and we take care of business sometimes before we take care of ourselves. I'm learning better to not do that. But somebody had a thing and they gave it to me, and I've probably sent it out there into my own little mission field, sprinkle it all over America. So, yeah, it's just it's how it is, and we just have to deal with it. So enough about me. But yeah, all that to say that everything's not in real time. Like, you'll see shorts and stuff where my hair is completely different. Like right now in real time when I'm recording this, I'm 2 days from getting my hair rebraided. So I wanted to get a couple more videos in with the fro out. Can you believe? Okay, side story before I get into my figures. So this is true. So I'm obviously a black woman, and this is how God made my hair come out of my head. I don't wear it like this very often for extended periods of time because it's maintenance, and it's just work that I typically in my morning routine don't have time for. I can't braid for beans, can't do it. I'm never going to learn how to cut my hair. I'm not going to do it. I can wash it and comb it. That's what I can do. I can blow dry it. I can get Brad Mondo's fancy little curly hair kit, put it all on, and that's what I can do. Can't do anything else. So for me, getting my hair braided is like just the easiest thing to do. But you gotta let your hair breathe once in a while. So I wanted to get a few more videos in with this, because it's good hair. This is like 4 or 5 years ago. I guess it was 4 years ago. I was part of a group that was helping do some online training because, during the thing, there was no in-person stuff. And this woman, golly, you gotta love people and their ways. We were getting certified to teach a particular course, and I pass with flying colors. I take my craft very seriously. I love speaking. I love helping people be better at their work, because when people are good at their work, our company profits, so I literally have a vested interest in your success. But I don't know what her deal was with me that day, because the people who were certifying us to teach the class were like, man, that was perfect. You can just teach everything. We love you. I don't know if that rubbed her the wrong way or not that day, but she literally, like, in front of everybody too. So it's like, we're Z-Uman. We're on a web call. We don't use that particular company at our, but that's become synonymous, like Kleenex with tissue. That's what we all call web meetings now. But she said, well, they might think that, but there's some things we can work on. I was like, okay, fine, give me your feedback. One of the feedback she gave me was, because it was leader calls that we were doing, I teach a lot of senior leaders at our company, was could I do something about my hair to make it fit in the frame? I beg your whole pardon. She said it just doesn't look professional. And before you think it was somebody who does not look like me, it was somebody who looks like me. That's what makes it more scandalous, right? And I was like, pardon? I was like, you got so little things that you can pick on me about that you're upset that my hair doesn't fit in the frame? My hair can be fuchsia. My hair can be bright pink. It can be blue, purple, golden as the sunshine. I've had my hair in so many color variations. But when it's in its God-given natural state and it doesn't fit in the frame, that's not professional. Bombastic side-eye. I don't know why I wanted to share that. Maybe because my hair is so rarely in a fro and it made me think of it. But sometimes all you can do is go, okay. But this is why we're here. So I need to snip out. Look at that reflection up there. I love a shiny box. Don't you love a shiny box? But I need to snip out my vehicles and prime them, and my Terminators and prime them. So I figure I'm going to start with those because those will be the easiest out of this to paint. I've got another box of Terminators that are going to be destined to be Ultramarines, and I finally made a decision about what I want my armies to be from this box, because this is just precious box. I've still got my my Adeptus Titanicus back there. They are going to have to wait. They will probably be a fall project because she's got goals. We are going to be a part of this event. Good God, the rule book is so big. This is what happens when you enter Warhammer for the lore and then you get sucked into the game. It's a lot. But I have settled on 2 armies. So I'm turning here in the book to find, oh, I love this image. This is one of the reasons I'm so glad that I've got the book now, because I've got all the artwork. Look at that. This is Horus, pre-Heresy. And then over here, we've got the Fulgur. Look at him. Look at Fulgur trying to act like he's fine. Oh, there's the Khan, Jagatai Khan. And I do believe that is Mortarion. And then way back here, there's the wings hanging out, that Sanguinius. And I'm pretty sure that's the Gorgon. I think that's Horus Manus. I'm pretty sure. I have been way too deep into this. I can just look at a painting of fictional characters and go, that's so-and-so and so-and-so. Like they're historical documents. But yeah, this is actually a very famous Warhammer Horus Heresy lore picture. This is when the Emperor appoints Horus to be War Master. And a bunch of the Primarchs were there. They weren't all there, but a bunch of them were there. And they saw the Emperor basically bless him to be War Master. So this is it. This is like your big brother's in charge, and this is when it all fell apart. It was actually falling apart before then, but this is not a lore video. We'll do those another day. Man. But my hard choice was trying to figure out what were these armies going to be, because there's enough pieces in this book to build 2 armies. And you know she leans chaos. She does. My first kill team is the our good friends, the bearers of the word. She loves her some Lorgar. And you can choose chaos or Imperium for the Horus Heresy. My other favorite Chaos Legion that brought us Fabius Bile, that gave us Lucius the swordsman. The Meraviglia was produced in the halls of their flagship. The most vain Primarch to ever Primarch amongst the Primarchs, who turned himself into a demon prince for the kicks of it. She is going to go with Emperor's Children, Chaos Faction. My bad, the bald one is Rogel Dorn. I don't do a lot with Rogel Dorn because I'm not really an Imperial Fisty. That came out wrong. Anyway, but yeah, that was Rogel Dorn. My bad. And the guy with the horns was Magnus Arid. Again, not the ones I deal with the most. The other legion I'm going to will be Loyalist Salamanders, because Vulcan lives. It's funny, you only know the most about the stuff you're really interested in. So, the colors kind of run together sometimes, but Emperor's Children purple, Salamander's green. Greenish. They're not like greeny green. It's like well, here they are. This book is so heavy. But this is, a mock-up of the Salamanders. I try to just get an idea of what the colors should be from the books, because everyone's legion should, be unique to them. So my bearers of the word, I really emphasized the word bearers red, and I got just ridiculous with the trim. I don't know if I'm going to be as ridiculous with my Emperor's Children, but we shall see. But within this book are the rules, and it gives you like the point totals and everything you need to build your army. Now here's what's cool about specifically the Horus Heresy game, and why I think I'll be able to build up enough of an army for this particular event, and then I can work at my leisure, is it's 1,000-point game, but I already have my kill team of word bearers done. So that's already a set of points done. High points are vehicles, and Terminators are worth quite a bit as well. One of the vehicles that's included in here is the Dreadnought. And if you don't know about the Dreadnoughts, they're kind of hideous the way they're made. Like if a soldier who's really done the most in battle is, going to pass away, but man, they are just too good to let go. They just got that fighting brain. They will take their consciousness and basically entune them in battle armor that makes them a living tank. That's the best way I can describe it. And they could potentially fight on forever that way. Where, like, it gets really weird because most dedicated legionaries would not be upset about that fate. Like, that's like a goal. You know, it's like becoming a saint. Yeah. Saint Space Marine. But where it really becomes a problem is if chaos gets a hold of them. So if a Chaos Legion, see, and this is where I'm so much better at the lore than the game, but if a Chaos Legion gets a hold of someone like that, and they want to entune their essence into one of these battle suits, a dreadnought, it can be done against your will. So if someone is a loyalist and they're like an amazing commander, fighter, and all of that, and they want that, or they're just being jerks, they'll stick them in a dreadnought. It's kind of up there with becoming a servitor. You know, which that's a whole other part of Warhammer lore. If you dig into it, it's like, oh, it's fiction. It's fine. So yeah, I just, because I'm so deep into loving the lore, I can't do a Chaos Dreadnought. I can't do it. I can't. So the Dreadnought will go to the Loyalists, but the tank will go to my Emperor's Children. The Terminators will go to the Emperor's Children, because I have a Terminator box I'm already going to make Ultramarines, and those Ultramarines will join my Salamanders that are going to come out of this. So my two armies I'm going to build from the box will be Salamanders and Emperor's Children. And since I'm going to give all the Terminators over to the Emperor's Children, and I've already got a 10-set kill team, a vehicle, that doesn't leave me a whole bunch more of actual, you know, armored dudes, little Space Marines to build. So that we can do it. But now this is the part we have to get the clip in. This is the rule book, lore book, and all of that, and it has become my favorite thing. We're going to read from just this book, because it is, we're going to read about all the Primarchs. But I love this book, because there's stuff I've forgotten, because I've been into other books right now, because I'm kind of in like modern Warhammer at the moment with the Fabius and the Minka. So kind of going back to the old Warhammers. Great, going back to 30K. But what we need to do today is do a little bit of organizing and clipping. So a few folks suggested, you know, hey, why don't you get something to organize that in? Honey, she learned real quick that she needs to stay organized. So one of the things that I started buying a lot of were these. Someone asked me, like, how are you keeping organized? Or they saw a video where I was showing like all my little figures. Or like, how are you keeping that separated? Little tackle boxes. This is literally a tackle box. It was like $1. It was cheap from Walmart. She stays in Walmart. I used to not. Like, where I'm from, like, you don't go to Walmart. Walmart's scary. But, like, I came here, and I guess, you know, environment and, you know, who you hire is everything. But the Walmart here near where I live now is great. So I'm in there way more than I've ever been in a Walmart my whole life. But this is a little 5-section tackle box. There's many versions of this. But when I'm building Marines, I can put their pieces in here, quadruple check that they're going to fit together the way I want, prime them, put them in here, and then I paint in order. I've actually got, this evening, I've got a set of Space Marines that are going to be primed, and then I'll paint them probably tomorrow evening after work. No, I said that backwards. That are finished. I need to glue them together so I can put them in their case. So I've got this nice acrylic case. Y'all will see it. And I'm going to, you know, put magnets on the bottom so that they stay standing. Like, it's a whole thing. She's real into it now. But yeah, this is a great way that I stay organized. But I also went ahead and got a whole tackle box. Yeah, I'm sad it's not pink too. I am. But everything can't be your favorite color all the time. So this is great though, because I'm working on vehicles first. I don't really care if it locks, it does. But with this, now I've got like tank go here, tank parts. And the reason I picked this particular one, because there were lots of tackle boxes I was looking at. But when you pull out these drawers, individual compartments. So like the pieces so I'll have multiple Terminators at once. I can keep all their pieces, which basically is what this does. So since I'll free up a box like this, since I'll be done with those Space Marines, I'll use that for Marine building, and this will be how I keep my vehicles organized at the moment. So that's kind of great. But let's get to snipping. We got to cut some stuff out. So back to the box. So I was informed that my measuring sticks aren't exactly 17 inches long, 18 inches long. It's fine. But the poster, I haven't decided where it's going to go yet. But tank pieces are already at top. Now hear me and hear me clearly. Do not just get to snipping. You will find, I know this is a vehicle because there's only one tank in the box, so obviously this is part of it. But don't just get to snipping. Do not just get to snipping. Each one of these panels is labeled. So this one says where's the camera? There, Land Raider on it. You see that right there? Land Raider. So I know what this is. And when it comes to bits that go to people, where is it? They are numbered. Yep. Make sure I get the right side. Yep, here it is. Yep, so it has numbers on them to let you know what you're looking at. That is just the worst. Y'all can't read that. She's going to one day have to invest in more camera equipment. That's not today. When the channel pays for itself, we can talk about it. What you do, you don't just start. There's a lot of panels in here. There's a lot of little bits that can get clipped and lost. Like there's already a pile of heads in the bottom of the box that I did not clip. It's just, getting jostled around and stuff, heads fell off. It's a lot. I'm going for vehicles and Terminators first. I'm not really much interested in anything else at the moment. Some little pile of heads can stay in the bottom of the box. You will need, I just have my snips. You're going to need some snips and not put them under the box. So you're going to need some snips, but more importantly, you're going to need this. The book. So every single one of your boxes, and it doesn't matter if it's Games Workshop or another fantasy game, there's going to be an instruction booklet that tells you how to snip stuff out. Do not lose this. Measure 4 times. Think about it again, then cut. Because then you don't want to lose stuff. It tells you on the front what you need. You need some snips, some glue, and then like an X-Acto knife. I've got that over in the paint room. I've never given y'all like a full look at my painting setup. I might do that. But it gives you a list on the front of all the things. So this one is your construction booklet and introduction to your armies. So it starts with the dudes. I'm not building dudes yet. The question becomes, well, how do you know which of what you need to build something? Let me get to my vehicle, because that's where I'm going to start. I'm not going to start with the little complicated dudes. I'm going to start with my Land Raider. And here is what's great. Land Raiders and Terminators. So, where are we at? Oh, Contemptor Dreadnought. Woo, he's going to be sexy. Ooh, look at him. Look at him. That's not what we're building. We're building, there it is, Land Raider Spartan, which is a class of vehicle. It's my tank. All right, so this is what I'm going to be building. And it's showing me what I need. So these are all the bits and parts that I'm going to have to snip from here to make this. Now, what I am probably going to do, because I was going to sit here and just snip all this out right now, but what is more prudent is to make sure that every piece that I believe I need is actually on here. So with this Land Raider Spartan, we got the sides. It's got 2 identical sides. That's why I'm starting with the tank. It'll be easier to paint and put together. So we got these pieces that bolt together for the side. They're labeled B1, E1, and B2. And then there's the tracks and all that go together. This whole piece is labeled as Land Raider. So, yep, there it is. This entire piece is labeled as Land Raider. As I look around, I'm trying to see where they've written the numbers on here because they can be real hard to see. There it is. So right here in the middle, there is an E hanging out that's identifying this. So when it's telling me that I need to cut E1, this side here is E, and then there should be a 1 printed next to one of these plate sides. That one says 13, so that ain't it. That's 12, that's 14. It is so small. There it is, haha. This is so difficult to see. So E1. And then I would need to snip all of this out. You cannot do this without a good set of snips. There are many, many brands out there. We've actually got some really good snips. These here are actually the ones that came in my Games Workshop box. These are Citadel brand. And I love them quite a bit. But without them, you can't do this. So I have a decision to make. Do I want to snip this out because this is all the same thing? Or do I prime this on the rack? So then it gets more fun. Because luckily, I don't know if the entire vehicle is on here. But why am I doing it this way? So y'all can see what it's really like to try to build this stuff, okay? Like, I love me an ASMR, snip, put it together. Like, those are great. I especially love the Gundam videos, which I've yet to put together my Gundam. When I say I've got 5 years of content in this room, like, over there, I've just got... Oh, please. Got this bullshit on a whim. I was looking for something else on Amazon I needed for the house. Dadgum Jeff Bezos and his algorithm got me. It's a Harry Potter chess set. I wanted it. Do I need it? No. It was there. I was there. Magic happened. Like how I did that. But I got content for years. Like that, I hadn't even gotten to the closet. We haven't finished the office tour yet. Like, we're going to be here on this channel doing nerd stuff together for a very long time. But I do it this way so to give people a realistic idea of what it takes to get into some of these hobbies. Because this is going to take, I mean, a good 30 minutes to determine all my pieces. Because note that this isn't all of it. Because I've got H's and everything else. So as y'all want to read a story with me, come get around, children. I'm going to tell you the story of the Land Raider Spartan. In the beginning, we put together the Land Raider Spartan's skeleton. And then one day, the great Emperor came down. No, I'm sorry, the machine god. And said to the tech priest, "Fill my Land Raider with your greatest inner workings." So then you have to find all these pieces. Now, here's the thing. Some things are in gray, some things are dark. Partially because those are pieces that need to go together before another step. But if you're looking at, like, your little dudes and stuff, so I'll flip back a couple of pages, that could also mean there's options. So, like, where's one that's got an option? Like this dude here. When we're building him, he could end up looking like that, or he could end up looking like that. And that's where kit bashing happens. So if you've ever heard that phrase, I know what kit bash minute fun. I was like, kit bash? We hit children? Like, that's what it sounds like. But no, kit bashing is when, like, you sift through leftover parts and then add them to your stuff. Like, a lot of the Xenos do a lot of kit bashing, especially the orcs. My husband does orcs and grots primarily. He thinks they're funny. So when I have leftover parts, he kit bashes. But I don't know if I have leftover parts until I'm completely done building his set. And since I'm done with my kill team, he gets to kit bash those parts for his armies. But wait, back to our story. So then after the great machine god came down and told the children to build the inner workings, and he did and said, let there be guns. Lots and lots of guns. So then you have to figure out what weaponry you're going to put on here, and the weapons you choose will affect the point value. And this is where you have to kind of separate your love of lore from the strategy of building an army, because one piece can't be worth your whole army. So when I played when I was younger, I had a Necron monolith, which incidentally, that monolith showed up in my Necron Magic the Gathering deck. And that's one of the things I love about their Worlds Beyond with MTG, because they, even when they're like dealing with a world outside of the Magic world, like they pull in the Lord of the Rings or whatever it is, and you know, they do a cross affiliation like that, they kind of keep to the rules that would apply anyway in that particular fantasy space. So the monolith in the tabletop game, I don't know if it's still a thing because I don't play Necrons except for in Aeronautica. It was basically worth a whole army, and like you couldn't really play because you had one thing, you know, and it would dominate the board, honestly, and it makes it not fun if there's no strategy to it. And in the Magic the Gathering, the monolith card, if you get to where you can cast it, it's a board wiper for everybody. But then, you know, you just keep adding pieces, so you have to search for all these pieces. So I'm looking at this. There are more of these. Now, the good thing is it's one vehicle, so I can basically eyeball, okay, this goes with it. Well, I'm looking for things that look like vehicle parts, not guns that a human would pick up. How can I tell the difference? I'll tell you. So these are obviously vehicle pieces. They're huge. But when it comes to parts that would be for a human to pick up, let me sift through here and look for some human guns. Okay, so yeah. One, the fingers. So that tells me that goes on a dude. That's not a vehicle part. And then also, you know, the legs and stuff. Now, the cool thing is a lot of the human pieces are attached. So like this little set of guns, I don't see anything on here that says dude is supposed to hold it. So I'm going to put this over with my vehicle stack for now, and then I'm taking the pieces that I know are dudes and stacking them back in the box. I got my little Citadel snips. I was going to get to snipping in this video, but I don't think this is the best snip setup. So here's another one. So this one now becomes questionable because these look like chest pieces here. Chest and back pieces, these might actually go to Terminators because they're pretty heavy armor. Or is the title on this? This is, nope, it doesn't have a title on it like it does for the vehicle. The vehicle's a little easier because at least the big pieces, it said, hey, this is for your tank. On the rest of these, the whole thing is labeled. So then I have to go to each giant labeled sheet and then pick out what's on it, but I'm pretty sure these are vehicle guns. So like, look at all this little stuff. This is obviously going on Marine, so it goes back in the box. But I know this is a lot of sheets, but all that sheet. Wow, these are amazing. Okay, quit admiring it. All this, I'm just stacking it gingerly back into the box. Because I think, oh God, a piece just decided to hit the carpet. Got it. Whew. Is that a shoulder pauldron? Sure is. Just dislodged itself in the box. Keep up with your box. So, whenever you see multiples of something as well, because vehicles, you know, it's one big thing. So, there's only max 4. You know, it's 4 sides to something, you know, the wheels and whatnot. So that makes it a little bit easier to identify. So like here, these all look like shield pieces or something. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. This could be part of my Terminator squad, but I'm going to set it back in here. Because today is a priming day for these. I think I've made the decision, at least for the vehicle, I'm going to prime it on the form and then cut it out. Yep. Ho, ho, ho. I think these are vehicle guns, so check that out. It's the exact same one, but look, it's hollow on one side, which means that 2 sides are going to snap together when I cut them out. So I'm going to put this in my vehicle stack. We're not cutting yet. And then here's the other good thing. It's rather obvious that this goes to a tank. So this goes in the tank stack. Obviously part of the tank. So that at least makes the giant tank a whole lot easier to deal with. I'm going to get to the snipping of it tomorrow. I may or may not film that. I don't know. Because sorting through this was way harder than I thought it was going to be. And I'm going to have to concentrate. I'm not sure that I can concentrate on doing it correctly in film. Can she be real? I mean, I am literally paid to talk all day, every day, without a stop. But there's a limit. And this is, as much as I want it for content, it's still something that I enjoy doing for the sake of doing it as well. So I want to do it well. And sometimes it's about showing you progress and then where I am. So the next thing you'll probably see from the Horus box, the Horus Heresy box, will be my next stage of progress where I've primed and cut things out and just what I'm going to do next as far as those are concerned. But what I think I'm going to do now is try to figure out where the Terminator pieces are. And here's the good thing about what I've chosen to carry this in. So this might be my tank box because I have some other little storage cubes and stuff that I can use to separate out my Terminators, but this might be for the tank until I get all the pieces done so I can keep them separated. I can hear someone in the comments now, get a bigger tackle box. Look, you see all this? Space is a premium. I have a whole house. It's fine. But yeah, this is definitely tank. But the question I have are, where are my Terminator bits? So this is definitely tank. Let's look through here. So there is a table of contents here. Space Marine knee pads, Dreadnought, Land Raider Spartan, Contemptor Dreadnought. Let's go with 3 Cataphracti Terminators. Oh, and I've got the Praetor as well. Yeah, gotta make sure I build him. Yeah, she's going chaos first. Can't help myself. I don't disagree with chaos. Chaos is technically a chaotic neutral. They just want to see the world burn. They don't care whose world it is. So 3 is my Cataphracti Terminator. Here it is. Yep, Cataphracti Terminator Squad. Mark 6 Tactical Squad. Alright, that would be 8. So here's how I'm figuring out where they are. So on the little forms here, I'm looking for my 8s. Oh, it's the big clawy hands. I did have the Terminator stuff. These aren't as difficult to put together. Wow, my guesswork is pretty darn good. Is that all? Oh, there's multiple types of Terminators. There is... So I can build a Cataphracti Terminator Sergeant, and he'll end up looking like that guy. You know what I'm saying? It's like they give you so many parts because you got choices. And then there's a Cataphracti Terminator 1, 2. So 1 has 2 choices. 2 has 2 choices on how he could end up looking. And then on 3... well, dadgum, he's got 4 options on version 3. The reason they do that is that helps you build an army that looks unique to you. No 2 armies are going to be exactly the same. That's kind of the fun, and that's why there's so many pieces. When I first started building, I didn't realize, like, why it was so much. Because you look at all this, and it's like, what do I do with this? Be patient with the process. So let me pick out my Terminator bits. So I am looking. So let me find what I'm looking for on here. And I can show you where it's written. So I was pretty right that all of these claw hands. She's been looking at pieces too long. These are Terminators. I have a Joy Toy Terminator back there. Can you see him? Where is he? It's backwards, so I can't tell. Nope, it's on that side. You can't see it. Is that my chair? It is. Why is my chair in the shot? You know what? That's my chair. That's my Hello Kitty blanket. Um, so let me show you what I'm looking for here. This is a realist channel on YouTube. Okay, so my Temanite squad, 8s, 10s. Okay. So for the leggy legs, I'm looking for grid that is 8 overall. 2014. I'm kind of angling this in the light so that I can see the numbers. That's kind of a trick. So I've got a really bright overhead light in my office because she needs light to see. Glasses. They're not just for looks. But it helps me to, like, I can't even hold it up to the camera so you can see these numbers. Like if I reflect a little bit maybe, but there's numbers printed all along here. So for their booties, they are on, yep, they are, the whole of this will be labeled number 8. I think I found it. I think. Oh, she's squinting and she's wearing glasses. That's not a good sign. It's work, y'all. If you want to get into this hobby, I feel like being real with people. When I go on my yearly trip to Mexico with my Taekwondo team, our instructor who takes us, he never always wants us to talk to people 100% about what it's like to go to another country and practice because it's very different. He doesn't want to scare people away, and I respect that. I get it. You want people to have their own experience of something. I believe in that. Experiences are valuable. You want people to experience a thing in true, but I also believe that for people to make educated decisions, you need to give them information. You don't have to like gloom and doom everything. You don't have to make everything look sunshine and roses, but real information is very helpful. And being someone who is a corporate trainer, it has given me an ability to communicate information without being doomy and gloomy or overly like, it's great. At the same time, I cannot see what I'm looking for here. So I'll tell people, what it's like working out, outside of your comfort zone. You know, I live in the South, but they closer to the equator than we are. So just by right of practicing in that environment, they are going to be stronger and more fit than we are. It just is. It's kind of like going to Colorado. Just by living in Colorado, you're more fit because of the elevation. Specifically Denver. Look at you, Denver. Because if you've ever been there and you've not experienced it, like you get off the plane and go, if you're not used to it, you're, oh God, I can't breathe. Because the air is thinner, so it actually makes you fitter when you go other places if you're in that environment for a long time. So I tell people, it's like, look, it's gonna be 107 in the shade. Okay, it's gonna be 117 in the shade. You're gonna be a little miserable sometimes, a lot of times. There are some things that we are used to that are not the same there, and vice versa. There are things people who live there they're used to. If they came here, they'd be like, "What are you doing?" So just helping people understand culturally what things are like why you don't wear booty shorts to some of the places we're going, just stuff like that. And I feel like, when it comes to something like this, I want to give people the same experience. Like, look, it's fun. The game is fun. But to get to playing the game, you got to go through this BS first. And is it a hoot? And do I love doing it? Absolutely, I do. It's so much fun. I like a puzzle, but if you don't like puzzles and putting stuff together, pay somebody to do this or go find you a used army somewhere or play with army men or read the books or play the video games. There are other options besides torturing yourself with this. I still can't see it. I know I've got the right pieces. I just wanted to show you how I know it's the right piece. I can tell by looking that these are Terminator bits, but I don't see a print. See, that's just an imprint. That's not the actual thing that says this is a Terminator. Well, these are Terminator bits, and I cannot find the bit on here, the numbering that says it. I was just going to be so educational today. But you know what? I just came off the flu. My brain is not completely with me. And you know what? This is just going to be one of those videos. Everything can't be perfect all the time. I decided, when I was going to do this whole YouTube thing and have fun with it, that I was not going to strive for sinless perfection, that if I wasn't having fun with it, I wasn't going to do it. And when people are having fun and living in something that they really enjoy, sometimes it's messy. Sometimes it's beautiful and perfect. Sometimes it's messy. Sometimes it's adorable. Human's gonna human. So we gonna prime these this evening. I'm actually gonna break out my good, what's it called? Prainer. My brain doesn't work today. Airbrush. I have two airbrushes. I've got a portable one and then like the real one. Gonna break out the real one because we need good even primer on all of this. So she gonna prime. I think this might be my dreadnought. And so we're going to leave him out because, yeah, these are singular pieces. We're not dreadnoughting today. And I think these two are my praetors, actually, because they got, like, the fancy capes and stuff. Like, look at that. It's got, like, this little thing that'll go up over his head. So we don't need our praetors. And the rest of these should be legionaries. I've put enough legionaries together to recognize just straight up, mark plate. Okay, she is speaking in Space Marine now. Yep, standard Space Marine. Standard Space Marine. This. Ooh, look at the options. There'll be capes. There's gonna be capes. Yeah. Okay, but that's not what I'm concerned with today. I'm just giving these a double check over to make sure I've got all my Terminator bits. Yep, these are standard Space Marines. These might be options. No, these are Space Marines options. These are not Dreadnought options. I'm going to hold on to these two just in case, but nope, scale-wise. That's another clue, is the scale of, like, the hands. So this hand is going to go on a Space Marine. It's a claw. But look at the Terminator hand, how much bigger it is. So that's the Terminator hand, and then that's the space. That's another reason I know that this goes to something else. The Terminators are bigger than your standard Space Marine dude. So the praetors can go in. And then this bombastic guy is definitely my dreadnought. But we're not building our dreadnought. We are on chaos. I explained earlier why I cannot do a chaos dreadnought. I just, in good conscience, can't. Yeah, the rest of these are Space Marine bits. They certainly are. They most certainly are. This here, I'm going to compare the weapon sizes because these are weapons options, which we love. But I want to make sure, I think using the scale of this gun here can tell me if it would work for Terminator, which I don't think it will. The Terminator weapons should be pretty big. Yeah, their weapons are way bigger, so he can stay. All right, I think I've got everything I need. I am going to do something I've never done. I'm going to prime with these stuck here. And someone actually made a really cool suggestion, especially for this, for the tank. So I do read y'all's comments and listen. I care. We're an interactive community. Was to try painting some of this still on here. So I'm going to prime it on here. But what if I started painting it on here to get some more detail, especially the bigger pieces, and then put it together? I know. My only worry are the snip marks. Because sometimes you have to sand if your snips don't snip perfect. So I'll see how that goes. But I've got to put my blast radii back in here. So this is what I'm working with right now. So next time I'll get an update on this box. Hopefully all of this will be primed and I'll be well on to snipping out and that kind of thing. So wish me luck. I've actually made the decision to make use of this giant box. So I need a nice space to keep the pieces as I prime them and stack them. So I'm going to line this with kitchen paper. That was for the British people, since Games Workshop and Citadel are British brands. You like that? So I'm going to line this with kitchen paper. It's paper towel, Americans. Because I'm not going to ruin my box. But use this to help stand up and stuff and keep track of pieces as well. and keep the other half of what's not being built right now in here, and keep this in my office, because the rest of it is going to go to my painting room now. So we're going to put our Bible, back in here. Lay that on top gingerly. And this tank pieces and Terminators go in here. This is going to go into the painting room with me. And then I've got my snippy box, which I'm not going to need to start separating pieces out until I get them primed. And she's going to go for her 1,000 points. Y'all, it's going to be a marathon. I feel like I've got it in me. It's going to be my biggest Warhammer paint project ever. We shall see what happens. Pray for me. But in the meantime, please like, comment, unsubscribe, and I shall see thee in the next one.